Halves, Part 2 by Jeff Simpson, MasteryLearningSystems.com. In this video, you'll learn more about halves. Knowing about even numbers has a lot to do with understanding how to work with halves. Some students need to review even numbers, so we'll start with that. If you think you don't need this review of even numbers, well, please watch carefully and learn how you can help your friends who do need help with them. This is one sock. One is an odd number. This is two socks, a pair of socks. Two is an even number. Here are three socks. Three is an odd number. Notice the last sock does not have a partner. Here are four socks. That's two pairs of socks. Four is an even number. When the socks are arranged in pairs so that every sock has a partner, the last number is even. Look at these socks. All of these socks are arranged in pairs, and every sock does have a partner, so the last number, 10, is an even number. But look at these socks. Not all of these socks are arranged in pairs. The last sock does not have a partner, so the last number, 9, is an odd number. Every sock in this picture does have a partner, so 20 is an even number. The last sock here does not have a partner, so 19 is an odd number. 16, every sock has a partner, so 16 is an even number. 15, the last sock does not have a partner, so 15 is an odd number. You can use pennies to teach yourself about even and odd numbers. Get a whole bunch of pennies and arrange them by twos so that every penny has a partner. Then count all the pennies. The number will be even. Now arrange them so that every penny has a partner except the last one. Then count all the pennies. The number will be odd. Now you can use what you know about adding to learn more about even numbers. For example, you see the pictures of the socks. There's 1 plus 1. Put them together. 1 plus 1 equals 2. And 2 is an even number. Let's do the same thing with adding 2 and 2. 2 socks in the first box plus 2 more. Put them together. 2 plus 2 equals 4, and 4 is an even number. Works the same with 3. 3 plus 3 equals 6. 6 is an even number. Can you see the pattern here? 2 is even, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. So 1 is half of 2. 4 is an even number. 2 plus 2 is 4. So 2 is half of 4. 6 is even. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 is half of 6. 8 is even. 4 plus 4. 4 is half of 8. 10 is even. 5 is half of 10. 12 is even. 6 plus 6. 6 is half of 12. 14. 7 plus 7. 7 is half of 14. Well, that's it for adding. Now let's think about multiplying. Multiplying by 2 also helps us think about halves. Here's a picture of 2 times 3, which equals 6, and 3 is half of 6. Use what you know about multiplying by 2 to figure out half of 8. What's half of 8? Well, 2 times 4 is 8. And you see in the picture there's 8 pennies. 4 in the top, 4 in the bottom. 4 is half of 8 because we multiplied by 2. Now think, 2 times what equals 10 if you want to figure out what is half of 10. 2 times 5 is 10. In the picture you can see, yes, 5 is half of 10. Here are more examples of multiplying by 2 to figure out what half of something is. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 is half of 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 is half of 4. 2 times 3, 3 is half of 6. 2 times 4, 4 is half of 8. 2 times 5 is 10, so 5 is half of 10. 2 times 6 is 12. 6 is half of 12. 2 times 7 makes 14, so 7 is half of 14. Now for dividing. Dividing by 2 is a good way to figure out what half of something is. For example, if 2 people divide a pizza, each person gets half a pizza. But if 2 people divide a $10 bill, each person gets $5, because 10 divided by 2 people is 5. If 2 people divide a $20 bill, each person gets $10, because 20 divided by 2 people. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Dividing by 2 tells us what half of something is. For example, here's 6 cookies. Let's divide them by 2. 6 divided by 2 should give us 3, and we see in the picture, yes, there's 3 in each half. 3 is half of 6. Divide by 2 to figure out what half of 8 is. Here's 8 pennies. We go divide them by 2. It should give us 4. Yep, there it is, 4 in each half. 4 is half of 8. Now think, 10 divided by 2 is what? To figure out what is half of 10. Here's $10. Divide them in 2 groups. There should be 5 in each group. Yep, there it is, 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. 5 is half of 10. You can use pennies to practice learning about halves. Get a whole bunch of pennies and count out an even number of them so that every penny has a partner, like this. Then count all the pennies. Of course, the number will be even because each one has a partner. Here are 12 pennies. Now, divide the pennies into 2 groups. Move them so half of the pennies are on one side and half are on the other side. Now, count how many pennies are in one of the groups. There are 12 pennies altogether, and there's 6 in that box. 6 is half of 12. That's how you can use pennies to figure out what half of the pennies is. Here are more examples of dividing by 2 to figure out halves. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so 1 is half of 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 is half of 4. 6 divided by 2, 3 is half of 6. 8 divided by 2, 4 is half of 8. 10 divided by 2, 5. It's half of 10. 12 divided by 2 is 6, which is half of 12. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 is half of 14. Okay, now, use what you know about dividing by 2 to solve this problem. You can stop the video and figure it out, and then look at the answer when you start it up again. Here's the problem. An hour has 60 minutes. So how many minutes are in half an hour? Well, you divide 60 by 2 and you get 30. An hour has 60 minutes, so there are 30 minutes in half an hour. Now solve this problem. You can stop the video again. A year has 12 months, January, February, March, and so on. How many months are in half a year? Well, you could divide 12 by 2. You get 6. So a year has 12 months, and there are 6 months in half a year. Here's another problem. A pound of butter has 16 ounces. So how many ounces are in half a pound? Divide by 2 again if you want to find out. 16, that's 16 ounces, divided by 2. A pound of butter has 16 ounces, and there are 8 ounces in half a pound, because 16 divided by 2 is 8. Kind of like dividing for 2 people. Try this one. A yardstick has 36 inches. So how many inches are in half a yard? Well, again, you're going to divide by 2, so 36 divided by 2 gives you 18. So a yardstick has 36 inches, and there are 18 inches in half a yard. Now solve this problem about a half-ton truck. That's what you call them. A ton has 2,000 pounds. Now how many pounds are in half a ton? Again, we'll divide by 2 to find out what half of something is. 2,000 divided by 2. That's 1,000. A ton has 2,000 pounds. There are 1,000 pounds in half a ton. A half-ton truck can carry 1,000 pounds of stuff. And here's one more. One day has 24 hours. How many hours are in half a day? Again, divide by 2 to find out what half of it is. 24 divided by 2 is 12. One day has 24 hours, and there are 12 hours in half a day. And now it's time to test your knowledge. Can you see your answers before the solution appears on the screen? I'll try. Here's the first one. Half of 2. That's 1, of course. Half of 4. 2. Half of 6. 3. Half of 8. 4. Half of 10. 5. Try some more. Half of 12. 6, that's right. Half of 14. That would be 7. Half of 16. 8. Half of 18 is 9. Half of 20, 10. Here's some more. Half of 22, 11. Half of 24, 12. Half of 26, 13. Half of 28, 14. Half of 30, 15. Well, I hope you did well with that. Now, try them out of order. This is a little bit harder. Half of 8, 4. Half of 20, 10. Half of 2, 1, of course. Half of 14, 7. Half of 26, 13. Now try some more out of order. Half of 28, that's 14. Half of 10, 5. That was a little bit easier, wasn't it? Half of 22, 11. Half of 4, that's 2, of course. Half of 16 is 8. And one last batch. Half of 18 is 9. Half of 30, 15. Half of 12, 6. Half of 24, 12. And half of 6 is 3. There is still more to know about halves, but this is enough for the Part 2 video. You can learn more about halves in ways that make sense in my book, Fractions and Decimals, which is available online at masterylearningsystems.com. Please share these ideas with other people who can benefit from them. and thanks for watching.